You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Welcome one, welcome all to this online business briefing brought to you by SmallCapVoice.com. And as you just heard, I'm your host, Stuart Smith. Welcome to you once again to our show today where we are welcoming Get Real USA Incorporated. The company's traded under the ticker symbol GTRL. And we're lucky enough to be joined by Greg Walker today. He's an important consultant to the company. Greg, how are you?
Stuart, I'm doing great. Thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well, Greg. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to stop by and speak with our listeners here at SmallCapVoice.com. And for those listeners who may not be familiar with what you're doing over there at Get Real USA Incorporated, tell me a little bit about the business model and market.
Well, Get Real is a new company, but we're filled with young, exciting, passionate young people that are taking the energy and we're bringing it into the film industry. We do high-quality films, but we're doing it at a lower cost level. We're in a smaller budget films, and that's kind of our model.
Well, Greg, tell me a little bit about this material that you are creating. Who are you distributing it to?
We're distributing for young producers throughout the region, more independent producers than the big studio deals. However, while we will focus in the future on some studio work, right now we're doing it for the young, independent producers that bring projects to us.
Very good. And in reading the About section for the company, it sounds like your goal is to create a strong production pipeline. So in other words, am I correct in making the assumption that you want to work with many of these young directors and artists and kind of work with them over and over again? Are you starting to build portfolios for those people, or is it a kind of a one-shot wonder? In other words, my question is, are you building relationships with individual directors, or is it kind of, hey, we're going to take this project, then we're going to sprinkle in a project over here? Tell me a little bit about how it works.
Well, I think it all depends on how that project and how that director ends up in that project we do for them. Mm-hmm. We are certainly all about building long-term relationships, especially when you get a director or producer that is passionate about what he's doing, and he's successful with us by taking some of our expertise and some of his creativity and together building a model that works. Certainly we're going to continue working with that one director or that producer. But we're also about striving for new relationships. And so we're also out there looking for the new next wonder, new next director, new next producer. That's the wonder kid.
Sounds smart.
And we're excited about our future, and we're excited about what we have on the board right now.
Well, you've got a lot to be excited about. Listen to these statistics, listeners. In 2011, more than 100 million Americans watched online video content on an average day with over 43.5 billion video streams delivered in December 2011 alone. Now, let's ask you once again about that business model. How are you making money then? I'm assuming it's advertising dollars?
Well, it's funny you asked that. You know, we just bought into a piece of Now TV Live. Now TV is a live streaming company. They have 120 million viewers, and they over 1 billion hits a month. And we own a piece of that company now, and we will executive produce different content for that company, and that's one of the ways we're going to make some income this coming year, and we're real excited about that.
Very good. Well, great to hear. Well, Greg, you are a consultant to the company. Let's learn a little bit about your background. Then let's also learn a little bit about the management team over there at Get Real USA. Go ahead, Greg.
Sure. Well, my company, we're out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've been involved with about 60 films over the last 4 or 5 years. So we do turnkey work for both independent and large studios all year round. And so we also have a film tax credit fund that's going to work directly with Get Real USA. This year we'll be doing a lot of work with both our tax credit fund. It's one of our initiatives at Get Real, as well as we're going to try to do some co-producing with Get Real and my company in Baton Rouge. And it's just a great relationship. Our president at Get Real is Khalil Kane. He's partnered over there with T.R. Turner. These are two guys that have been in the business for a long time, both sides of the camera, if you will, and they understand the creativity. They're passionate, and they bring so much energy to our company, and we're so excited to have them on board and take their expertise. So and we're getting ready to build an advisory board this year over the next quarter with all different groups of people that bring so much talent and so much creativity to our company. just a real exciting time for Get Real right now.
Well, and Get Real is more than just Get Real Movies and the online streaming. Let's talk a little bit about Get Real Music online. I see back on the press wire you've added some impressive people to that advisory board. Get Real Music online, there's GetRealUSAInc.com and GetRealMovies.com, and we'll give all that out again at the end of the audio interview. But talk to me a little bit about the music division.
Yeah, one of our leaders had a background in music. And so we decided to, especially with this new movie, Tied to Knots, which I'll talk about in a minute, doing the complete soundtrack ourselves. It's, a lot of times you sub out or for that type of work, but we're doing it all in-house, and we're going to create the soundtrack for that movie. And with some of the talent we have in our executive team that has a background in music, we thought it was just a great idea to just make it part of our vertical and our company and start doing a lot of soundtracks and part of the get more involved with the music industry. So we're real excited about that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Vertical integration, a new way you can do it, creates a leaner business model, cuts that overhead, listeners, something to think about. Let's talk a little bit about Tied in Knots because we want to go over the achievements for the company here so far in 2012. Lots to talk about, but you mentioned Tied in Knots, so let's talk about that award-winning comedy film.
Yeah, Tied in Knots is a romantic comedy written and directed by both Tier Turner and his brother, Dane. They did an incredible job. This is a very low-budget movie, but when you see it, you will not know it's a low-budget movie. They did a very good job of bringing in some actors. We are going to have a huge, huge presence in Asia because we've got a lot of Asian actors in this movie, and we're excited about it. We believe we're going to have a significant income from that movie, from DVD sales, foreign sales, as well as pay-per-view. So we're excited about it. It's a great film. Looking forward to distributing it with our distribution partner, Radioactive Giant, this year.
Well, listeners, if you'd like to see a trailer on that movie, go to GetRealMovies.com and click on the trailer tab to view that trailer for Tied in Knots. And let's talk a little bit about that market in China. Box office receipts in China, for example, were $1.57 billion in 2010, up 64%. So the entertainment swing, as the disposable income rises there in China, that entertainment swing's going up as well, which we see a lot in the United States as well. Well, let's move on to some of the goals for the company in the remainder of 2012. You've got a lot going on with Get Real Music. You've got a lot going on with the whole team there at Get Real USA. What are some of the goals for the company? What do they want to achieve for the rest of 2012?
In 2012, we've got a lot of great goals this year. The remainder of the year, we obviously are going to really work on our relationship with Now TV, look for some great content that we can executive produce, because as Now TV does well and does better, we obviously do better because we own a piece of Now TV today. We're going to continue to look for projects that we're going to, like Tied in Knots, we're actually going to release it this year. Again, I mentioned our partner, Radioactive Giant, who will help us distribute that worldwide, and we're very excited about that relationship. And then we're going to continue to look for projects. One of the biggest things we're going to do this year, the remainder of the year, is we're going to invest in tax credit financing, which is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I believe the company now sees that it may not be as sexy, but it's a very safe investment with huge returns for our investors, and we're very excited about that opportunity.
Well, listeners, as the entertainment industry moves from the big screen to the small screen, which is television, and now I don't know what you'd call the tabs that we're all watching and the iPads and the laptops. I guess that would be the micro screens. This is a micro-cap company that is poised to take advantage of this transition into this new entertainment market, which is already, as we pointed out by the statistics, very well established. Get Real USA currently now owns 3.21% of Now TV Live, and as the agreement finalizes, they'll own a total of 12.5% of the network, and the revenue model is to produce sponsored content that has the potential to earn Now TV Live millions of dollars annually. Yeah, I'm getting this information from a press release that came out May 16th. Use that ticker symbol again, GTRL, to find that. If you'd like to learn more about the company, visit the website. It's also available in the press releases. That's GetRealMovies.com, GetRealMusicOnline.com, and Get Real USA Inc., that's INC, GetRealUSAInc.com. You can also reach the company directly in their Wilshire office there in Los Angeles at 310-461-1913 or by email getrealfilms@inbox.com. Well, listeners, once again, we are speaking to Greg Walker. He's a consultant to the company. Greg, thank you so much for your time and insight into Get Real USA Incorporated today. Thanks, Greg.
Stuart, really, the privilege is all mine, and I really appreciate you and your listeners. Look at Get Real this year. We are going to make some huge strides in our goals, and for the investors to bring that return we promised to make.
Absolutely. Well, listeners, what a terrific time to be taking a look at Get Real USA Incorporated, traded once again under that ticker symbol GTRL. And I want to thank you so much for your time here today at SmallCapVoice.com, listeners. So for Greg Walker, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com. This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in the featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.